Good morning, everyone. Wave if you can hear me. Oh, yay. Okay. The squirrels and the internet are working here in the country. That's amazing. Welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here with me to have coffee. Who's actually drinking coffee? I've had 3 cups. I had to kick back a little. I had to kick back to some tea. So, yeah, I was just like, this is too much. I'm like crazy right now. It's over the top. So, we're doing tea right now. Real quick, I like to start these with, like we're in this whole quarantine thing, and I came up with this mission with the help of like my daughter, and we're just like brainstorming some stuff. And the whole purpose is for us to just continue to do the damn thing, like with our health, our fitness, even though shit's hard. So I wore my cheesy shirt. Like I'm one of those over 40-year-old women that have to wear these like screen tees. I can't get over it. Okay. Sorry. But we won't fold, we won't quit, we won't give up. And honestly, like I think my life's MO is just like continuing to work through stuff even when it's hard, as a pillar for strength and growth. So I really hope that you guys will continue with me on this mission to just get through this together, not give up on each other. And like Angel says, we're the no matter what club, right? So can we like fist bump to that? Like, can we get some fist bumps? Like, no matter what, we're doing this shit. So like, I love that. We're going to make shirts with that, by the way, Angel, at some point. I will credit you. I promise. So as just like a quick conversation starter, I think I mentioned somewhere yesterday that I am going to be driving to Washington tomorrow. So what are you listening to or like reading, like Audible wise, podcasts, books? Plug it in the chat box below or raise your hand and I'll unmute you. I'm going to tell you, I really, really have no imagination for like fiction. I know that's really awful. Like I start listening to fiction stuff and I just can't do it. So maybe you have something super juicy that I can, like lose myself in the drive. Anyone raise your hand, show of hands, something they're really listening to and loving right now, podcasts, audiobooks. You guys are just scrolling social media these days. Yeah. Let's see. Nobody, no hands, no show of hands. All right, Stephanie, we got a taker. Tell me what you got.
Listen to the Dirty John podcast.
Okay, I'm writing this down. Okay, tell us about that.
It's about a guy who basically cons a bunch of women. He pretends to be a surgeon. He lies. He scams women. And then I'm not going to tell you the ending. It's like 4 or 5 episodes of it, and it just draws you in.
The Dirty John podcast?
Yeah, it's a podcast called Dirty John. I'll send you the link. I'll text it to you.
Okay, awesome. I love it. I love, like, podcasts are my thing. So I have, if anybody's, I know a lot of us are walking more, it seems like everyone's posting their Fitbit steps and they're like getting all these steps. At least I know I've been walking a ton. My dogs are getting a lot of exercise. And so I love the School of Greatness. So Lewis Howes is super motivational. Has anybody heard of him? Raise your hands. Yeah, no. It's a really great podcast, Lewis Howes. And he interviews like high performing and high functioning people, like authors, athletes, super incredibly motivational. And like, I think over the last 10 years, I've really inundated myself with a lot of this. Like, I just want to be better. So I want to learn from those that have achieved certain things or certain benchmarks that I feel like are aspiring. So I just like fill my brain with that stuff all the time. I think that's why I have a hard time with fiction, because I'm just like, no, I could be learning other things. So I need to like segue over to the other lane and just allow myself to not be in like content creation mode all the time. So I'm looking forward to the Dirty John podcast. Learn a new language. You know, my parents would be super proud if I decided to take up Portuguese, but you know, I don't know. I haven't done it. Has anybody had success with these like language learning softwares like Rosetta Stone or anything like that? Krista?
My grandma used it for Greek, actually. She used Rosetta Stone to learn Greek.
Okay. And she felt like it was
Yeah, she liked it and she spoke really well.
Nice.
I guess I need to learn it apparently so I can be the great granddaughter.
I just know all the bad words in Portuguese. I'm like, I think that's all I need to know, right? Like, I need to know how to ask for like bread and cheese and then just like the bad words. It'll totally be fine.
See, and I only got the sweet stuff. Like, I love you.
Yeah, no, my family's all about, we have like this slang. We talk in like the slang Portuguese. It's definitely not like, it's not like Brazilians, like the gorgeous, like sexy, like way to speak Portuguese. Yeah, we're so not. We're Azorian, if that tells you anything. We're off the islands of Portugal. Let's see. Charity says, how I built this. It's a podcast by the Lululemon maker. Where are you? Let me find you. I want to hear more about this real quick. Charity, tell us more.
Okay, so not Lululemon. That's one I would recommend. Like, I think all of us would enjoy hearing how they like decided to make their clothes. It's pretty fun. But like they have like Sierra Nevada, like all like different makers.
Mm-hmm.
Just like explaining how they built their company and what they're doing to keep it going. And it's pretty cool. It's fun. Like
Nice.
Birchbox. I just listened to Birchbox where they like put all the samples and like send them to women.
Yeah.
And then you can like, it's fun. It's just fun to listen to it. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I love that you guys are plugging it in this chat box because I'll save that later and make a list because I got a long drive, y'all. Okay. So let's see. Dara, I want to hear it. Let me mute Charity real quick and find you in the sea of beautiful humans. Did you guys some of you guys put makeup on today? I love it. I did too. Just for y'all. Dara, there you are. I unmuted you.
Yeah, I know. I put down The Genius Life by Max Lugavere. I know you're always probably in the health and fitness space, but he's probably 30 and he was, I think he actually worked for like Al Gore on his like election committee and he was kind of into making documentaries.
Oh, nice.
And then his mom got like early onset dementia. And so he or Alzheimer's, and she died. She was like 56. And sorry, I'm still shaky from working out with Alicia. I am. Thanks, Alicia. But he talks about everything about the brain and brain health and food and everything. And it's super cool. And he's not a scientist. He calls himself a citizen scientist, like what he could find. He was already a really good researcher for his documentaries, but he just dives into all things brain health. So it is super cool.
I think he was on another podcast that I just listened to recently. And he's super passionate about it because I remember the whole topic about Alzheimer's and his mom and all that. So I'll have to check that out. Another one that is really great for like, I love to geek out on like human optimization, right? Like, so I'm learning all this stuff and just like digesting it, like figuring it out on my own, sampling different things. So has anyone heard of Tim Ferriss? Tim Ferriss, like he's an incredible, like New York Times bestselling author, but he has put himself through all these experiments over the course of, I don't even know how many years, where he will just do crazy stuff. He's done like, his book is like the 4-Hour Work Week, the 4-Hour Body. He's got all these great books. So I highly encourage you to check out that podcast as well. Who has never listened to a podcast ever? Oh my gosh, you guys have to download the free app. It's on your phone, the podcast app, and it's just free stuff to listen to. But pretty much anything that you're interested in, you can find a podcast. Like they have podcasts on like knitting, so like anything that you're interested in, it's like a wealth of knowledge at your fingertips. So any like weird, like if you're into like Harry Potter or you're into, I don't know, just whatever, like gourmet food, just all these things, you can definitely find a topic that you're interested in on podcasts. So thank you. I've got all kinds of ideas. Now I can download some fun things. If you come up with any others, put them in the chat box, or good books, because I love good audiobooks as well. Another one is Audible. Has anybody done that? I know I'm super geeking out on this topic, but I think we can totally stand to use this time wisely with like learning some things, like come out of this quarantine with like some little nugget of knowledge in some other aspect. So anybody use Audible? It's also an app. if you've never used Audible, it's basically books on tape. I'm aging myself there, but like when back in the day when you would pop a CD in your car and you could listen to a book on tape, Audible is the digital version. So it's just an app and you can download it. And I have a subscription to it to just get one book a month. You get to keep them, re-listen to them. But if anybody's interested in like, yeah, I would like to try, I've got a huge library of Audible books and I can share, you can get a free book, like your first book is free. So I can send you it if you want. Just send me a message in the chat box or DM me, or, you know, I don't know, send a carrier pigeon or something. And I'll get you a free link to an Audible book. And just like take a stroll and listen to something fun. You can listen to fiction. I won't judge you. It's totally fine. Okay. Moving on. Things I'm excited about. I want to take a few minutes and just ask you guys as a group, what do you feel like is going really well with your fitness, nutrition, or time management right now? Like what is going really well for you? By show of hands, anybody want to volunteer? I'll wait. Anybody volunteer? Hand, just a little. Oh, Amy Mischler, I see a hand. Yes, my love.
I just wanted to first off say I so appreciate having all of the workout options because it has been my sanity, at least part of, and so appreciated. So that's the first thing, that able to get in workouts 5 days a week, even in my insane house, which is a miracle. There's a reason we go to the studio. Anyways, but I make it, and
I think we're losing you a little bit. Oh, there you are. So just getting in, I think, you're good. I think I've heard that as a whole, like some of you who maybe only got to the studio a couple times a week are now like, oh, I just have really no excuse of just to roll off my couch and like hit play, right? Or hit, join the video. So kudos to you guys, because I have seen a lot of you more digitally than I have in the studio. So that's been super awesome to see. So I agree with you on that. Anyone else feel the same way? Like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm getting more workouts in. Yep. Awesome. Angie, tell us more.
That's me, right?
That's
me.
That's my angel.
Hey, I am just, I don't know. I'm totally getting a lot more workouts in. I'm not fighting it. Like, I'm willing to get up. I've noticed that now that I'm 40, I get more anxiety and depression. Yeah. So I was finding myself like really depressed, and this is giving me an option to stay out of my head, keep moving forward, and like just, and focus on something to better myself, and it's keeping my mind clear. My body's sore, my mind is like, so I'm not focusing on all the negative stuff, and and of course I'm enjoying being home a little bit more. So that's definitely number one for me lately.
For sure.
So,
for sure. Anyone else can relate to that? I don't know. I can. April, me. Yeah, I know. I'm sure you guys read my Dear Diary email entry I sent out a couple days ago. Just being like super transparent about the fact that like I'm like busting my butt because I know how it feels to just be depressed and anxious and not want to get out of bed, and like just you like all these like voices in your head are just like, no, like stay curled up, that's better, and it's more comforting and it's the easier thing to do. So honestly, like for me, I know personally, just like still like depression always just kind of looms for me, and then it's kind of like there, and it can be situational. We'll flare it up, so things like this will flare it up. And I know for me, I read a book, can't even remember what book it was, but it was like, if you're in a place of feeling like anxious or depressed or like just sort of lost, it's like you have to be of service and just give, and that like fills your cup back up. So I'm just like, I'm telling my daughter, like, I need to do more. Like, because I'm feeling so overwhelmed by like the situation. So I'm glad that you're able to to utilize that as an outlet for sure. Kudos to you. All right. Anyone else? Finding like some wins in this situation, as far as like time management, something that you're like, okay, I thought this was going to suck, but it's going really well. No, you guys are all doomsday. Oh, okay. Dara, give it to us, Dara.
Oh, I was just going to say I'm sleeping better because I don't have to be anywhere in the morning. I'm working from home. So, I mean, I still start work at like 7:30, but I'm just sleeping better because I don't have anxiety about getting up, doing everything I need to do to get out of the house, get dressed, the whole thing. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And sleep is so important. I'm not even going to go down this rabbit hole because I will talk about it forever, but I'm obsessed with good quality sleep and it being a part of like recovery and hormones and just overall like the fountain of youth. I think it's very underrated in the fat loss, scheme of things. So I know a lot of you have been saying like, I'm sleeping a lot, and don't feel guilty about that. Like I would feel guilty. Like I was sleeping, 9-10 hours and it was just like, oh my God, I could be up doing things. And it's like, it's actually a productivity hack, if you will. Like the more you sleep, the more productive you're going to be. You're going to have more energy. You're going to recover better. You're going to feel just better overall. So kudos to you in getting that sleep. How many hours do I sleep? Right now, I don't know if you guys know on your iPhone, nice selfie of myself. On your iPhone, there is on your alarm, you can set like a bedtime. There's like a bedtime function. So if you have an iPhone and you haven't checked that feature out, please do, because you can set it so that way you know exactly how many hours you're getting, which is not difficult math. But I always at a minimum will go for 8 hours currently. When I'm up at 3:30 in the morning, that's tough, but I try to get in bed by at least like 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock on those days, in like the real world days, right? When we were actually doing things in society. But yeah, sleep is huge for recovery and repair. Okay, so moving on, we're going to talk a few minutes about like, where are you having some struggles right now? Like, where do you need help navigating anything like fitness, nutrition, time management? I encourage my introverts in the crew, like, how hard this is for me as an introvert, right? Like hosting a live virtual coffee hour with 30 sets of eyeballs on me. So I challenge you to raise your hand, or I invite you to raise your hand and offer up a challenge you may be having. Or maybe not. Maybe life's just perfect and we're just going to sit here and stare at each other awkwardly for 30 seconds. We're going to unmute the least introverted person in the room. Yes, Miss Glitter.
Sorry.
Hey, girl, get it.
Hey. No, in reality, for me, I feel like, wait, what was the question? Just kidding.
Struggle bus.
I feel like, yeah, so I'm not quite on the struggle bus. The struggle bus for me is just trying to keep everything going, and I feel like a lot of people around me are struggling, and I feel like I want to be that person that kind of helps them through it. So, in a way, maybe it's a struggle bus for other people, but then it's also a struggle bus for me, because in my heart, I always want everybody to feel good and be good, and I always want to encourage. So it's been a struggle for me to see my friends actually really struggling with this lately, and trying to be like, you know what, it's okay. Try not to focus on that part that's actually making you struggle. Focus on something else that is like the good out of this, which is the same question that you had asked earlier, or you may be asking soon, is try and focus on the good parts that's coming out of this than just all the bad stuff.
Right. And I feel you. I think this goes back to like my comment earlier about, my kids were like, I created an office out of my hot tub room, and I'm like, been locking myself in there, and I've been just like working on my treadmill desk. And my kids were like, Mom, we haven't seen you for 2 weeks. can you come out of there? And I'm like, I'm not doing enough, you know? But honestly, I think it's a self-induced like pressure that we're just, you know, a lot of us put on ourselves of like, oh, we got to keep, you know, everybody afloat and all the things, but just take some ease and grace. And I'm saying this to myself too, and knowing that like, you're doing enough, you're probably doing more than enough, but it's because we're not in like the actual space of each other. Like we were talking about this, we had a meeting yesterday as coaches about just, we don't feel like we're doing enough because like our business or our job is very hands-on. Like I am touching people. I am physically, you know, in your space. Like there are no boundaries at the studio. Like we're smacking acid, high-fiving and all this. So like when we're doing this virtually, it's just like, it doesn't feel like enough. And I think that's where I'm getting caught up too. So anyone else feeling this too in their own workspace or home space? No? Yeah, a little bit, some head nods. Yeah, it's just an awkward time, I think, to be in general, but just continuing to like plug forward, doing the damn thing, and, you know, doing our best is what we're all doing right now. And I think we're doing a pretty damn good job, okay?
Hey, if I could see all these faces, even on a screen, you guys make me so happy. Like, if seriously I hadn't seen your face since this all started, I feel like I would have gone bananas by now.
For sure. And even like, I know there's a lot of people on here that are newer faces or we don't know so well, or maybe we've only met a couple times. You know, don't let all these like stranger faces be intimidating to you, because everyone started that way at Venus, you know, like in the real space. Like they came in, and that was one of my biggest missions for the studio is like, everybody who comes in, you need to know everybody's name. It's the Cheers of Fitness, like no mean girls. We're a family here. It's not like, oh, you know, there's judgment based off your age, shape, size, all those things. We just want you to come here and know that like you can sit at our table. We're nice. You know, we're not like stuck up, and we're not going to be like, oh, you're this or you're that. Like, you know, so it's the same in the virtual space. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. Okay, so with that being said, no one else has any challenges they want to raise their hand and ask and group share? Oh, J Watt, yes, you can sit with us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I sent you an email back the other day because I have a few struggles that we talked about. So on top of the coronavirus stuff, you know, I'm pregnant right now for the first time, and it's a lot different than what I expected. And like my sleeping is totally off. I want to eat bread and cereal. And the other day, you know, like I'm already 5 pounds past where I'm supposed to be this week. And, you know, I've always really been into work, and I'm really good at time managing and focusing on my job or like the house I'm renovating. And I'll do that all day long. Like yesterday I was there for the entire day, and I didn't walk the dog, and I didn't do a class. And I don't know why it's so hard for me to be consistent with my fitness and my like eating schedule, even though, you know, that stuff is really important to me, but like I'll go 100% for work.
Mm-hmm. Because it's probably like everyone says to me, oh, it's so, you know, why is it so easy for you? And it's like, it's honestly, it's not that it's easy. It's not. It's so.
It looks like it.
Ask my daughter, who is on here somewhere. Ask Coach Glitter. Like, I am the biggest baby. I am like a crybaby. I piss and moan the whole time. I kick and scream. And like, it takes me like a good 15, 20 minutes to finally be like, okay, fine. I like this.
Can
almost
we get
every
video of
time.
that?
I'm pretty sure that it would be really boring and also very comical. But honestly, it's because Alicia, real talk. I think it's because I know that for me personally, that's my anchor as far as my mental well-being. And so I don't give myself a choice. Otherwise, it's the domino that tips the other dominoes in like a downward spiral, if that makes sense. So like, if I keep missing workouts, if I keep eating like crap, if I just keep pushing all these things off, then I'm going to start eating bad. I'll probably start drinking. I'm going to lay on the couch. And so it's just, I think it's kind of common for a lot of people, like that downward spiral, if, you know, one sort of follows the other. But also just knowing that, like, I don't always feel like it. So I just take my emotions out of it. And I'm like, I know I don't feel like it, but I just have to do it. I really just, the mindset has become, it's like brushing my teeth. I'm not going to not brush my teeth. I have to shower. I have, you know, like it's just lumped in to now it's a part of my life, and I don't really have a choice. And so when I raised my kids, it was the same thing. And that's why I really encourage you guys right now, if you have little ones, let them work out with you, even though it's kind of annoying and they're at home right now. Like, you know, I'm trying to censor the music as best as possible, but like, let them see you, because they're going to lead, they're going to follow by your lead, like down the line. So if they see you working out and they see you doing these things, you're setting a really great example for them. So, so just, you know, setting those wheels in motion as far as it's not even a question. Like I do it because I want to look good, but ultimately, like, if that wasn't even on the map of things, I would be doing it because I want to feel better. I just know the outcome is what I'm chasing now. So it's honestly just like flipping a switch in terms of like, I just have to do it, and I make an appointment with myself. I literally every day I'm like, this is when I'm working out, and I reverse engineer my schedule around it all the time. So I think a lot of times right now, because we're at home, it's kind of just like, ugh, like I have all this time, but I don't, and I have other things that are more important. So there is this book called Eat the Frog, or this premise, and it's like, if you can eat the frog, then you can do everything else, right? So what is your frog? What is the thing you don't want to do? Do that first, and then the rest will feel like cake for the rest of the day. And maybe you can have cake later too. But like, you know, just getting that over with and knocking that out first.
Oh, that makes sense, because like I'll try to schedule things and then I'll miss them if it's with myself. But like if I schedule it with Diane or Amanda, like I'm not missing that class, because that's rude.
Yeah, making appointments. Anybody else have any tips for Jessie? I know she's a first-time mom. A lot of us have kids, and like, you know, some of us never worked out, right? Like during pregnancy, I didn't. Most of the time, I didn't. Yes, I'm going to unmute you, Gabby. Go for it.
Oh, I was just going to say congratulations, Jessie. But also, I have to pre-plan my food because I'm still working right now. I have to be at work, and I can't be at home making what I want to eat. And I've been really good with what I've been eating lately. So I will go to Panera and get like you pick two and get 2 different salads. And then I know I have like something to eat. And then if I have my protein shake, and if I get really starving, I have another salad like on hand with me. But I like pick out my food because most people in my office are going to go run and get fast food or something. And if I don't already know what I'm going to eat and I don't have it, I just will go without too. And I'll wait all day. And then when I get home to cook dinner, I'm like eating everything because I'm starving, because I missed lunch. And then I'll just eat all kinds of stuff. So I already know what I'm going to eat. My husband will make fun of me because I'll go pick up salads usually from somewhere, or Rodent Farms carries really good, fresh little $4 salads. Picasso downtown is still open doing salads. And a lot of places I noticed, they're like, oh yeah, we're not making salads right now because that's not their money maker. So I found everywhere that sells salads right now. I'll give you a list of them.
Awesome.
I've actually, that's the one thing I have been really good about controlling since this whole thing is I've been eating really good and logging it perfectly for like
good girl.
So
good girl.
That's my tip. I just already know and look and know what I'm going to eat, because when I start to get hungry, I start yelling at people. I get mean.
Girl, you get hangry.
I get hangry guys. So.
Yes. Okay,
and that's what it works for me.
Yeah. Great
And I put
tips.
my own chicken in it. I get the salads without chicken, and I cook my own chicken, and I weigh it out and measure it and take it with me.
Yep. I'm going to unmute Glitter because she's got some good hacks too. So let's hear it. Yeah.
Am I hacking about food right now?
Yeah, hack about food.
Okay.
You know, like, can I just give you a shout out? Like, Glitter's been doing really, really well. She's been working with me on her nutrition. Her macros, I don't even know how much weight you've lost at this point, but you're like the magical shrinking woman who eats more food than I do. So
yeah,
good job to
thanks
you.
for all the macros, Coach. Thanks
You're
for all
welcome.
the macros. They're keeping me happy.
Uh-huh.
No, honestly, I've just tried to, so, okay, let's go first. Lazy Girl's Guide to Meal Prep. I just make sure that I make a boatload of protein, you guys. So if you get a bag of chicken, I make the whole bag. All right. And then I have a million containers. I split up the meat. Sometimes I will put frozen vegetables in there if I have it, you know, steamer bags. Lazy Girl's Guide to Meal Prep, y'all. And then, or if I want to buy like a fresh bag of broccoli, what I'll do is I'll just put my amount of broccoli serving, put it right in that container with the chicken that I've already had, and steam it right there. I do steamer rice. Like, I am a lazy, but I just make sure that everything is totally measured out. Other than that, you know, just really measuring everything has kind of been where it's at for me. And also, I'm only working part-time. So in reality, I'm not having lunch at work, but I still bring it with me. So I still bring my gym bag, you guys. I still bring all my stuff, even though I'm not going to the studio anymore and I'm just coming home and I'm not even necessarily eating lunch at work. I just make sure I'm trying to keep everything the same. Just because if things are different, I want to make sure my food is on point, and I always want to make sure that I know when I'm working out that day.
Sweet. Good tips there. I love it. Yeah. I am the ultimate. I'm definitely right there with her as far as Lazy Girl's Guide to Food Prep. I honestly just frozen veggies I will have handy. I always will do like the bagged salads. I usually don't use the dressing. I'll buy like a Bolt House Farms dressing. And then I bulk cook my proteins too. Just, I don't do the separate containers. I'll just do like one big container of like ground chicken breast or ground turkey, even extra lean ground beef with whatever seasonings. And then I just call them like mush bowls, or somebody else called them that. So I just started calling them that. Like, I just have mush bowls like almost every time. It's either like lunch or dinner. And it's like literally like a fistful of lettuce, some veggies, protein, some hot sauce and seasonings. Yeah, right. Hey, April, it's like the easiest way to get in all the things. And I just eat like mush bowls. And then I like to eat my carbs in like rice cakes, or sometimes I'll throw some rice in there or whatever, but I don't get super fancy anymore. I just play around with different seasonings. Everyone's like, I need recipes. And I'm like, it's literally whatever I've got goes like in a bowl, you know, but prioritizing protein and then adding those veggies in, and then, you know, just measuring and weighing out your carbs. And I don't add fats to my meals. I just let my fats kind of accumulate naturally through the meats that I eat. So I don't add like cheeses or avocado or guacamole or sour cream or any oils to my foods. I don't do any of that, like, at all. And naturally, just with the meats I'm eating and all the other foods over the course of the day, I'll hit my fat targets and you know, the minimum that I think is necessary for hormonal health for sure. So lots of tips there. Thank you for crowdsourcing and helping out. I know we get bored with the basics. It's honestly like just not being afraid to experiment in the kitchen. I will say, if you haven't checked out like the Flavor God seasonings, they are amazing. They're super flavorful. They have an array of, you know, different varieties from savory to sweet. So you can use it on like oatmeal and protein pancakes and all kinds of different things. So definitely check out Flavor God. That was cute, Angie. I saw you. She's making double chins at herself. I love it. Okay. So any other, well, before we move on, I'm going to talk about the smoothie challenge. I'm so excited. Anybody need help? Melissa? Yes. Melissa, tell me. Oh, wait, I can't unmute you. It won't let me. You have a fancy background going on. What is that?
No, I'm at a coffee shop.
Oh, I thought you were at a bar.
I mean, not a real coffee shop, but you know, pretend.
A virtual one.
Oh, yes. I don't need help. I'm just like so excited about the smoothie challenge because
Yeah.
Like half my freezer is smoothie stuff. And I've been finding a lot of good recipes on well, your website, of course, was my first one, but then also bodybuilding.com has really good smoothie recipes, and I've been going crazy. So.
Sweet. I know you've been posting some sexy smoothies. I'm like, dang, she's making her stuff look all fancy. If y'all would have seen my smoothie yesterday, I was going to post it, but it looked like a bowl of swamp water because I poured it in a bowl and I was like eating it with a spoon. And I'm like, I can't even make this aesthetic. Like, it's not even cute. No one is going to want to eat this. So it was, I just ate it myself and I was like, well, it's fine. We'll leave it up to Melissa for the culinary excitement there. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a little heads up on what this is about. So I really want to just get your guys' help as far as participating, like working out the kinks, asking me questions. So I know like when the actual real challenge starts that I have already kind of what needs to be addressed ahead of time. Like it's not super technical, but like, you know, people have questions and sometimes I forget as far as like, you know, because I have what we call the curse of knowledge, where I've been eating and drinking smoothies for probably 12, 15 years. So like I know things that maybe some people don't. Like, you know, people are like, is it frozen spinach or is it raw spinach? So just helping me with like navigating random things that may come up. And I want you to know that no question is going to be a dumb question. So I want you to ask all the questions and don't feel like you're being annoying. So please do. So the actual challenge is going to start May 4th through the 17th. And so what it is 14 days, Glowing Goddess at Home Challenge, Sweat, Strength, and Smoothies. The actual real challenge is going to be open. I'm going to open it up, you know, and I really am asking that you guys like totally feel free to share. Please help me spread the word. Honestly wanted to do this because I have a lot of clients and friends who own small businesses, and I want to use 50% of the proceeds from the challenge donations to buy gift cards to my friends and local small businesses all through Modesto, Turlock, you know, just local in our county. And, you know, obviously the other 50% goes back into supporting business operations at Venus and keeping the lights on and having a place to go back to when the real world is not on pause anymore. So what it is 14 smoothies. So one smoothie a day for 14 days. You attend 6 live virtual classes with us. 3 of them need to be sweat and 3 of them need to be strength. So I'm going to share. Bear with me because I've never done screen share here. So I'm going to share my screen with you for 1 second. Let's see if this works. I will feel so cool right now if it does. Okay, let's see. Can you guys see that? Okay, I did a thing. Now I don't know. I need this. I need that tab that's right there. Okay, so when you go into Mind Body, I added strength in parentheses to the classes that count for strength, and then sweat for the ones that count as sweat. So when you go in, you can sign up for all your things, and then you know, okay, this is gonna be a sweat class, this is gonna be a strength class to count for my credits, right? So so there's that. Stop share. Okay, perfect. So those are gonna be how you determine what classes are what. You're gonna drink your smoothie daily, and you're going to be in the Facebook group. So if you look in the chat box, I don't know those of you that can access that here in Zoom, I did put a link to the Google document that's got like all the details for the smoothie challenge in there. But also in there is going to be a link for smoothie recipes. I created something eons ago called the Goddess Body University program. So I put a link to that. You guys can access it for free. And it's got multiple things in there, like a food prep guide. There's just like a bunch of like other things, but there is a recipe guide in there as well. And there are some smoothie recipes in there, as well as my blog. And then you guys, of course, like anything on Pinterest or in the universe as far as online you can use. So that will be there for you guys. And I'm also going to show you this cute little card that I made. Let me share my screen again. This is so much fun. Okay, so I made this Glowing Goddess challenge board, and you'll see here, like week 1, you've got 7 boxes to fill in your smoothies, week 2, and then 3 sweat classes and 3 strength classes in here over the course of the 14 days. Why are you saying no to me, Glitter? She's like, okay. So that is the challenge board. So let me back up a little bit because I'm getting a little excited about this. I posted all the details. The link to join the Facebook group is in there. And then honestly, like, why smoothies? Smoothies are easy to get in protein. They actually are really tasty. I've been utilizing them personally for me, and this might not be the case for everybody, but I know that I get like really hangry towards like the nighttime. And if I have like a big, huge smoothie before I like kind of midday, it sort of curbs that like bull in a china shop feeling when like the hunger strikes, you know, where you're just like, give me everything, give me all the food. So the smoothies have been helping with that. Some people like to do them first thing in the morning. That's okay too. Doesn't matter. Totally up to you. The Facebook group is going to be super essential for this challenge. That's where we're going to keep track of all the things. As far as like your check-ins with the challenge board, posting your smoothies in there, your workouts, all the fun stuff. Number 3, nothing is required for you to really be successful with it. I do definitely think like a good quality protein powder is important. And I have a list below, which I'll come to once I get down there. But when you post, if you post on like Instagram or Facebook, like publicly, like hashtag it up, Glowing Goddess Challenge, that would be super awesome. And then I just geeked out a little bit on like protein, why it's essential for fat loss. And, you know, kind of the parameters, because I'll get a lot of questions about like, is this a good protein powder? Is that a good protein powder? I'd love to see your protein powder have at least 20 grams of protein, you know, per serving. So that would be fabulous. As far as like a good protein powder, if you're unsure, send me the label and I'll check it out for you. I totally don't mind. Send it on Facebook and I'll look it over for you, or post it in the group near Glitter, or one of the other coaches will look at it for you. Yogurt, I don't really use dairy other than a little bit of whey in my shakes. You can totally do that if you don't want to do protein powder. If you're fine with dairy, I have my feelings about dairy because dairy is scary. But if you like dairy and you settle well with it, by all means, it's not a dictatorship. Use some dairy. It's totally fine. And then just kind of going over just more details on like protein powders. I use fruit in my smoothies, but I will do typically berries because berries are lower in calories, lower glycemic index, meaning less insulin spike when you consume berries. And they have high antioxidants, which is great for especially the time that we're in as far as like boosting immunity. So we'll use a lot of berries. I typically will do frozen for 2 reasons. 1, because it makes your smoothies like really frothy and like a milkshake. And then 2, they're more cost effective than fresh berries, I've found, certainly. So, so definitely look into some frozen berries. When you buy berries, just flip over the bag, look at the bag, make sure the only ingredients are berries and they're not added like sugars or sweeteners to them, because sometimes these smoothie mixes will have a lot of extra crap that you don't really need in there. So just plain frozen berries. They're usually picked at their peak of ripeness, so they're the closest thing to fresh. If you don't like something that we've listed in some of the recipes, you don't have to use it. The only rule is just drink a smoothie every day. It can be blended, shaken, whatever. I'm liking them in a bowl, so I will make them extra, extra thick and eat them like almost like a pudding or like a yogurt. Get your family on board if you want, by all means, husbands, kids, partners, all the things, have them join in. And then just play around with different things. Like I know I get super attached to like one smoothie because I'm a creature of habit. And so I'm going to challenge myself to live a little bit outside the box and play around with different things. And I have some other recipes that I'm going to offer up, you know, probably next week as some experimental things. And then I have some links to my top 3. I didn't want to give you like a laundry list of proteins, but again, I'm a creature of habit. And so once I found proteins that I like, I stick to these. I've been using for years. We typically sell at the studio. I've been using it since Tyson was in diapers. So way, way back when. New Zest is my favorite, absolute favorite vegan plant-based protein. So if you have like some weird gut things with dairy, or you just want to stay away from dairy, this is probably going to be your best bet in terms of flavor and consistency and not tasting like dirt. Thanks to Valerie for that find. Valerie is our vegan. She's got some great resources there as far as vegan stuff too. So if you need that, shout her out. And then Redcon's Isotope is another good one too. Cake batter is my favorite. I don't know how well that'll go with smoothies, but they also have a vanilla as well. And then some add-ons, and I'm going to add to this this Google document as we go along, and as I get feedback from you guys and just some things that you're liking, I will add to this and make it a little more robust. But I'm using chia seeds in almost every single smoothie. Not going to go too crazy down the wormhole of chia seeds, but they're great for helping with digestion, getting you to go to the bathroom, hydration. They also have been shown to pull toxic heavy metals out from your digestive system that we just like eat from random foods and sources. So they're like a great superfood, and they also help with giving you that feeling of satiety, like feeling fuller longer. So chia seeds go in all my smoothies. I also am extra with my greens right now. And so I use Nutridyne, which is a fruit and greens powder that also doesn't taste like dirt. I don't know if any of you have ever tried a greens powder, but a lot of times they're nasty. Well, this one is very fine consistency, and it's absolutely amazing. It is a little on the pricier front, so don't feel like you have to get it. But if you want to add a little extra boost, I love this stuff. It's really, really good. And then base greens that you should always throw in your smoothies are things like raw organic spinach. You can do kale. I'm not a big fan because sometimes I feel like I can taste it. So if you can get like a certain blend, there's different varieties of kale that are a little more mild. They don't have that bitter green taste. I would say remove the stems for sure on that. And then also frozen broccoli. I have done that before. Sounds weird, but you really can't taste it if you throw a couple broccoli floret heads that are frozen in there. I know Coach Glitter is like, you nasty. She's giving me that face right now. But you can't taste it. I'm going to make you do it. You're eating your broccoli, all right? And then if you, just on the topic of protein, because I'm obsessed with talking about it, and because most of my clients that I work with on nutrition are not getting enough, or they struggle hitting their protein targets. These are my two hands down favorite protein bars. So I just put them in here in case you want to have some extra protein on hand, need a little snack. Built bars are delicious. They have like a consistency of like a Charleston chew. Does anybody remember that from back in the day? Charleston chews, like the old candy bar. Yeah, that's what Built bars are like, except they're just softer. And then Outright bars are kind of like a softly baked cookie. They're super yum. Okay, so moving on, the challenge board tracker. And if you have any questions, plug them in the text box, or we're going to come up to like some FA or some Q&A here in just a second after I stop talking and yakking your ears off. But the challenge board. So the easiest way to do it is, I'm going to post it in the Facebook group, is just like on your phone, just save the photo. And then use either like a photo editing thing in your phone that automatically comes with it, or you can go into Instagram and upload it into stories. Just get your name on there and start playing around with how you're going to make little X's or create little emojis or whatever to put on your tracker. And if that's super confusing, we can totally do a tutorial for that at some point as well. So just let me know if that's a struggle bus for you, because I totally get it with tech. Every day you have a smoothie or your workout, put your little emoji or an X on there with a date in the box, or a date in the box. And then posting it on social, post it in the private group. Posting it on social publicly is an option. I just think it's fun to kind of get the word out there. And then you, at the end of the challenge, you turn in your bingo card, send it up, and then voila, we've done it for 14 days. So as far as the real challenge goes, how it's going to work is, once you've completed 14 smoothies, you've done 6 virtual trainings, you'll choose your favorite local small business, and 50% of your donation will go to a gift card from that business. So you actually get to pick. So that's where this is going to be kind of fun, because you're like, I'm doing this anyways. I might as well, like, you know, get a gift card from your favorite local business. So it's a super, super win-win for all of us involved, you know, on the health front and then obviously on the community front. And let's see. So we've got the challenge board there. Oh, I know. What's next? So we're going to beta test this for the next 14 days. We're going to play around with it. You're going to like not freak out about technology and just practice using your little board and start scheduling your classes for next week. Get on the schedule so we can see you virtually. You guys obviously know how to access the Zoom room. You already have got past the technology hurdle. And then there's a link there. You can download my Goddess Body University program for free, get your recipe on, so you can go get your groceries or do your things. Start posting in the group, tag me, Glitter, Ish, or Heather if you have questions. If you're super comfortable with one coach and you just want to pick their brain, by all means, like we've done this thing a time or two as far as smoothies go. And then how I could totally use your help for this as far as the real life version goes is like, if you don't mind sharing on Facebook, if I post and you share or like forward the email to your, you know, couple friends, that would be awesome and incredibly helpful. I would love to know if you own a small business or you have friends or family that own small businesses that I could get in contact with and just maybe corral them in so they can help as well spread the word. And then I'll be sending out some emails just to my whole list about the challenge, so sharing those. And then my most favorite one is like, please report me to HR. So if you have a company that has employees, or you know, you have an HR department, like send them the details of the challenge. Like I'd love to get like more of, you know, your company on board, just keeping everybody in this time like moving, sweating, you know, eating healthy and improving their you know, their own immunity as best as they can during this whole time while the world is on pause. So that would be super duper helpful. Any way that you can help spread the word would be fabulous, and getting more people in on this challenge. So that is the details as far as that goes. And then, yeah, I think right now I just want to let you guys take the floor. If you have questions, I mean, I don't think it's super complicated, but I could have missed something. All right, Krista, have at it.
With the smoothie recipes and everything that you post, I know that I get up and I start working pretty early, and my roommates are both home for quarantine, so they sleep in until pretty late in the afternoon. I was wondering if you could do a couple of overnight or like smoothie recipes that are like shaken not stirred kind of thing, or shaken not blended.
So a good option for that, that's a very good question, because everyone's home right now, right? And you're like up and you don't want to be blending your ninja at like 6 a.m.
Wake up!
I'm up, everyone's up. That's how I always was in my house. Curtains open. If I'm up, everyone's up. But no, yes. So something that would work good for this as an option is overnight oats, because the chia will like, this is a really gross word for those of you in the medical field, but it'll like coagulate everything. It'll like make everything, you know, like voluminous, and it'll bring everything together. So if you put everything in your fridge, you can even blend it the night before, honestly. But when you wake up, because I have done this before for the same exact reason, but when you wake up in the morning, just be prepared for it to have like weird levels of like liquid at the top and like heavy stuff at the bottom. So just shake it up and then you'll be good to go. So you could either do an overnight oats or do your smoothie the night before and just shake it up morning of, and you should be good. But that's a really good question. Yeah. Anyone else? Wave me down. Yes, Melissa.
Okay, so I don't think I understood the price part. So you make a donation and then part of it goes to the business. Is that what we're doing?
Yes. No. So this, for the beta test, no, we're not going to worry about that right now for the beta test, but like when the real thing launches, I'll have a page up and it's like a donation of your choice. Like it can be as low as $10, however much you want to make that donation. And then let's say you make a $10 donation for easy math, $5 of that is going to go towards the small business. And then that's what we're using for the gift cards. And then that's what you get at the end.
Okay, so is this only for members, or what if a new person wants to try this challenge?
Everybody, anybody. Yep, totally. Everybody, anybody, super public. I want to like get it out there so we can Like my small business friends are super struggling right now. And I'm like, we need to do something. Like it may not like be that big of a help, but like at this point, I think every little bit helps.
Okay. So like, cause I've talked to you about my mom, like,
yes.
So she's able to do this when the actual challenge starts, I guess.
Yeah. She can do it now. So I'm like opening it up for beta testing for free for now. So like if you have friends or family that want to do it now and they want to join the group and like we throw them in the group, we can totally do that. Get them a week of free workouts. They'll be good to rock. And then when the real challenge comes, they can log back in and do the real challenge for pay, like donation wise there. So right now, like, I'm just like, let's throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. Like that's my motto for like most things in my life, but we're going to do that and just get as many people on board. So if you have like family or friends that want to do it, just shoot them my way and then we'll add them to the group or have them add to the group. I'm going to post a link to this Google document in there as well with the challenge board, and they can just start joining in and I can get them a week of free workouts to test out next week.
Okay. And then with like using the different proteins and stuff like that, that's all good for, cause like mom runs an at-home daycare. So if she were to do it with the kids too, type of a thing, is that okay for them to have? Or
I'm not going to give you like a solid yes or a no for that because it would be like dietary like advice. And that's like out of my scope of practice because I'm not a registered dietitian, but anecdotally, I have fed it to my children and they're all fine. I mean, kind of questionable, but you know, they've all been drinking protein since they were like toddling around and it's been fine. But again, I would just, urge you to.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure before talking to her about it to make sure that she knew that it would be okay if they did have it type of a thing to try and do it as a group thing.
And if some parents are kind of weird about that, totally get it. You can make them smoothies without the protein and just all the fruits and stuff. And like, they'll be totally fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Good questions. Miss Mischler. Yes.
Just for people who are new to smoothieing, is it meant to be a meal replacement or is it like a snack or how does that work?
Ooh, super juicy question. So it depends. The smoothies that I have been consuming are literally a meal replacement because I'm going to tell you what went in my smoothie yesterday and how many calories it was. So we had a base of 1.5 cups of spinach. I had a cup of berries. I had a scoop of protein. I had my Nutridyne greens. I had chia seeds. I had PB2. It was like everything but the kitchen sink smoothie. And it was almost 500 calories. So yeah. So it literally kept me full for about 3.5 hours, and I was good. If I was going to use it kind of like as a snack, I probably would have cut out a lot of the excess. Like I would have cut out the PB2. I probably would have cut out the chia seeds. I would have cut out some of those extra high fat things and kept it around the 200 calorie range. So yeah, so just beware, like you can really jam pack your smoothies with some stuff and be eating like a full on meal. So just calories still count just because they're healthy foods. Just make sure you are being super aware of that for sure. Okay. Good question. Anyone else? Looking for hands? No. Melissa, yes.
Where is the link for what you just showed us? You said it was in the chat?
Yeah, so if you go to the chat bubble, go to the very, very top, and you see that really ugly link that's super, super duper long at the very top of the chat box. I'll post it again. You may...
Like the first thing I see is who's drinking coffee.
Okay, so you may have came in right after. So let me repost it. Right here, copy and paste. See if that works. Copy and paste that into the box. The beta challenge, if you want to sign up for the beta challenge, you just say, hey, D, I want to sign up for the beta challenge. See, I told you, I ain't got all this shit figured out right now. So I'm throwing spaghetti at the wall and you guys are catching it. So we just like, tell me who wants to be in. And then I'll put them in the group. And then I will send them all the digital things they need to know to partake. So the easy answer for that is if you want to participate, you just participate in the group, download the little challenge board. And then if you have people that want to participate, send them the link to the group, and then we'll add them in and we'll get them the free link and all that jazz. So that should work. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so somebody asked, what is PB2 like? Oh, Jesse. So PB2 is a defatted peanut butter. So those of you that like to use peanut butter in your smoothies, peanut butter, just like any of the nut butters, they add up super, super fast in terms of calories and fat, really fast. And even though it's like a healthy food, you want to be super mindful as far as portion sizes go. So PB2 tastes pretty good. It's pretty similar. It'll add that peanut butter or almond butter flavor to it. It's powdered, and then you add water to it, just very small amounts until you like the consistency. You can use it on anything, just like you would peanut butter. But I just throw it into my smoothies because I like the peanut butter flavor. So if that, let me know if that didn't answer your question. What about the one protein bars? One protein bars are okay. It's a brand called One, O-N-E. I just don't like, they taste waxy to me. I don't know if anyone else has had them by show of hands, but yeah, I've tried probably every protein bar out there. And that one I've had a couple times. I'll eat like if it's an emergency, but I'm not going to scout those ones out in terms of like, it's got to taste good for me. I don't want to be eating it. I'm kind of a snob about that stuff. Like I don't want to eat that if it's going to taste like crap. Let's see. Somebody asked, does it turn green? Melissa, does what turn green? Hold on. I can't unmute you.
We good?
Yeah.
Well, no, we were talking about the one that's super green or something like that. So I was just curious if it actually turned it green. Like,
oh, the Nutridyne greens?
Yeah.
So the Nutridyne greens, if you guys follow the link, they have a bunch of different flavors. They have a chocolate espresso, a fruit one, different flavors. The chocolate one is literally brown. So it looks like chocolate. It has a chocolate
if it's
flavor.
green, I just can't do it.
I know. Some people are super, super weird about like textures and colors and things like that. But yeah, most greens powders are green for sure. Let's see. Somebody said the espresso. Stephanie used espresso. I have not tried that one. So good to know that it's delicious. And then berry, Victoria said the berry one is good. I think that's probably going to be my next purchase, because I want to make some smoothies that aren't always chocolate, because I always make chocolate smoothies like every day. So, all right, I'm gonna mute all. Any other questions about Smoothie Challenge Life, or just, you know, all the things in general? No.
I do.
Oh, yes. Hold on. Wait. Jaywalk, go for it. And then Cheryl, I saw you. You'll be next.
Okay, so if I'm adding like a raw spinach base, do I need to do the Nutridyne stuff? And is that stuff safe if I'm pregnant?
Consult your physician on that one. I can't tell you. It's literally just greens powder. I can't imagine why it wouldn't be, but again, just err on the side of caution, specifically because you are with child. But yeah. But no, you don't. It's literally just extra. Like I'm super extra. So I'm like, oh, throw all the green shit in there. Like, you know, at this point I need all the help I can get, because, you know, I think I don't eat a lot of salads. I know, right? I don't eat a lot of salads personally. I will do like green beans or asparagus or whatever. So I'm getting greens, I'm getting micronutrients in, but I kind of just use this as insurance, if you will, just to hit all my micronutrients that maybe spinach doesn't have, like selenium or, you know, all these other random, like, right? I know, micronutrients that I might not be getting covered by my food. So I like to throw it in with my greens powder. So
okay,
just a little extra, but you don't have to.
Which flavors do you use, and is it expensive? The
Nutridyne, I've only tried the chocolate. Stephanie says she's tried the espresso and it was good. Victoria has tried the fruit and it's good. It's expensive. Honestly, I've spent less just because I'm like, oh, it's a greens powder, you know, like I'm just going to buy whatever. And it literally will just sit because it tastes awful and I just cannot stomach it. So this one I look forward to drinking. I know when I haven't put it in my smoothies because I can tell it has like a very distinct taste that's delicious. So, so I really, really like it. And I think it runs about $40 to $50. It's kind of pricey, but it lasts a hot minute. Stephanie, you said it's about 40. And I love it. Yeah, it's worth it. I'm not good at, I know when we're not good at eating our veggies, it's a close second. And then Amy Mischler says, she's got this one, which is a green superfood by Amazing Grass. Yeah, that one tastes good. Amy, I just unmuted you.
Yeah. I've been using that for a while. I really like it. This is the chocolate flavor. I've also done the, there's like a green tea one that's also pretty good. But yeah, the Amazing Grass, I like them. And they're not crazy expensive either.
And I think, thank you for that. I think I can speak for Amazing Grass as well, because Sprouts has samples. So if you are venturing out and you go down Sprouts, down their aisle of like protein powders and things, they have little tiny packets of, I believe, the Amazing Grass stuff. So you can try out different flavors and decide if you like it or not, if you don't want to go the Nutridyne's way. Miss Cheryl, I'm going to mute you.
It was just a tip on the smoothie making. I used to, because I meal prep. I even meal prep my smoothies. Put everything in a bag, in a little sandwich bag, spinach and everything, and freeze it. Okay. So in the morning, you just add your liquids or whatever powders you put in it.
Okay, I'm so glad you said that, because I have never done that, but I've seen that. And I knew somebody was going to have that. I love whoever's singing in the background too, by the way.
It's my granddaughter.
I'm going to mute you for just a second, but yes, if you want to geek out on this and you're like, I just want to prep this because I don't want to think about it or else I won't do it, and take like, I don't know, it probably doesn't take you very long, right? Maybe like 30 minutes, an hour. Yeah. So, you can get freezer bags, throw all your smoothie ingredients in there. And like Cheryl was saying, just dump them in your blender and you're ready to go. So that way you don't have to dig for stuff, because that does take time. I will say it's not long, but like every time I get a smoothie, I'm like, drag out the fruit. Okay. My greens, do this, do that. I'm like dragging everything. My counter is full of all the things. And then I'm like a mad scientist making a smoothie and it's a big hot mess. But if you can do them in freezer bags like that and just dump and go, that's a great way to like food prep your smoothies for sure. Great tip. Yes, greens powder do not have green tea. Green tea is actually just a flavor of greens powder. So not all greens powder have green tea. Just FYI, Miss Jess. Oh, liquids. Okay, so that's actually good. I'm going to add that to the list, Jay Watt. Thank you. Liquids for your smoothie. If you are hardcore, you could go water, but I don't do that. So I use just unsweetened almond milk. You can do unsweetened vanilla or just plain original. You can do oat milk. You can do cashew milk. If you're allergic to nuts, you can do hemp, I think has been good for people with nut allergies. So there's a few different milks you can use. I would not advocate using cow's milk, but that's just my opinion. Cheryl is so right. The Daily Harvest, but cheaper. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, that's a great way as far as liquids go. And again, I experiment with my liquids because, you know, you may want something super like thin and watery that's not like thick and smoothie-like. You're going to obviously add more liquid. I like mine really thick, like a Wendy's Frosty. So like it's hard to get through the straw. They actually have smoothie straws that are like the ones for boba tea. I don't know if anybody drinks boba tea. I've never had that in my life, but they have those big straws. Yeah, you can use those for smoothies and it's great. Let's see what else we got. I would not use juice. Very good question. See, I like these questions. I wouldn't have thought of this. But yeah, I wouldn't be using juice. Just a lot of added sugars. And juice, honestly, you would be just pouring it in, honestly, just like liquid sugar into your smoothie. So I would avoid juice if you can, for sure. What order do you put your smoothie guts? What guts? The guts of my smoothie? Coach Glitter, where are you? I don't see you anywhere. Where are you? You said guts. Okay, wait, what? What order? What?
Okay, so what order do you put your smoothie ingredients in?
I was like, smoothies don't have guts. This is animal free. Okay, very good. Another good question. I'm going to rewatch this video and take notes because this is all really good stuff. So I always put my spinach in first. So I put my spinach in and I smash it down first because spinach is voluminous, right? Like it takes up all this space. So if you try to shove it in last, it's just going to come out of the blender and it's going to go all over the place. So I always do my raw spinach first. Then I do my next heaviest item in after that. That is the hardest to blend because it's going to be closest to the blender blades. So my frozen stuff is going to go next. So that will go in on top of the spinach. And then I will fill in with like my chia seeds, my powders, and all the things. And then obviously the liquid will go last. And then
do you use ice at all or just your frozen berries?
I don't, but I also, you can use ice. I just find that it doesn't blend very well, maybe because I don't have a super badass blender. I just have like a basic Oster blender. And I have a Ninja, but my Ninja's too, I want like a big blender full of smoothie. So like my little Ninja is not enough. So yeah, you can use ice, but I just found that it doesn't blend up good in my personal blender. And also it makes it kind of watery. So if it takes you a minute to eat it or drink it, it just tends to get a little watery.
Perfect.
Okay. That was a good question too. All right. How long do you blend? How do you get it so thick? My spinach usually still has I blend that. I like literally hit blend and I walk away. Like I start washing dishes. I get distracted. I'm like, oh, my blender's on. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Like it's pureed. It's literally like to smithereens. So just make sure you blend it really, really good. I don't have like a duration. I just look at it and I'm like, okay, that looks good. So, are you drinking a smoothie glitter?
Smoothie.
It's what?
It's iced coffee, but I'm planning my smoothie for lunchtime.
I love it. Awesome. Any other tips as far as smoothie blending?
How do you get it thick? Mine is always runny.
So you're going to need to increase your spinach. So that'll help thicken it. And then also, if you've never used chia seeds, that will help as well. So the chia seeds will help because they absorb liquid. That's their job. They get about, I want to say chia seeds grow to about 3 to 4 times their size when they're put in the liquid. I don't know if you've ever seen them. They get like really, like they get voluminous. So if you find that your smoothie's watery, typically like what I did the other day is mine was super watery and I hadn't added my chia seeds. I went ahead and blended it and then I added the chia seeds last. I stirred it up and then I let it sit for about 5 minutes and it got a little thicker because it literally only takes about 3 to 5 minutes for chias to rehydrate. So give that a whirl. I'm using usually about 8 ounces of almond milk. I'll start there and then I will add little bits if I need to, but I don't get super crazy. I just love it to be really thick. So I don't add a whole lot of liquid.
How big do you think your smoothie is overall?
It's the size of my blender.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's literally, ask my daughter. She's shaking her head there. My blender is just like a regular size blender, but it's the size of my blender. It really is.
You're drinking like a 40 of smoothie?
Yeah, I use like 2 big handfuls of spinach. And then, yeah, I blend it for so long too. I think that also like aerates it and makes it super duper huge. So yeah, it's a blender full. Victoria's LOLing. Oh yeah, BAS, big ass smoothie. Thanks, Ish. Thanks for that one. We'll have to use that now. That'll be another hashtag, BAS. And then, yeah, frozen bananas are amazing. Make it taste creamy. That's also another one to make it thicker, Jess. Sherry gave us that tip. And then, yep, peanut butter or chocolate ump. Very, very good. You guys have been super awesome for hanging out for this long. But yeah, the frozen bananas, I will give you a tip on the frozen bananas is if you have bananas and you want to use them or they're going bad, like they're best when they're like super ripe because they taste nice and sweet. But like if you chop them up and then put them in the freezer, just throw them like in a Ziploc. It doesn't have to be super fancy. That way, when you get them out of the freezer, they break up a little easy, and it's because otherwise your blender will have a hard time blending that up. So just chop it up before you freeze it. That's super helpful.
I've actually been doing that lately when my bananas are going to go bad, and it's so good. Like if you put them on a snack or something.
Yeah, they're good. They're good frozen, just like little bites. Little bites. All right, you guys. Well, I think we've taken up a lot of your morning. Thank you for hanging out with me. Any other questions? No? What are you guys doing today? Tell me. You're looking at it? You're going to go make a smoothie today? Hi, Heather. How are you? What's this? I unmuted you. Tell us.
Yeah.
You're just, you're looking all cute with your little bun. Very nice. All right. Who's going to see Heather this week for some workouts? 8:30 a.m. Yeah. Yay. Working out humans. All right. Let's see. What do we got in the chat box? Homework. All right. Well, I got to go get my oil change because I got a long drive tomorrow. So I'm going to head out and do that right now. But yes, hit me up in the Facebook group. I'm going to post all the links in there right now when we get off, as far as the link to that Google Doc. I'm going to upload the little smoothie thing. I hope you guys are excited. I'm excited. I think it's fun, something to kind of focus on and play around with and try out some different things. And then just tag me, if you need anything, and let's start. I'm going to have a smoothie right now. So yeah, I'm going to post that in the group. It's going to be super ugly, so don't look for anything aesthetic. Okay, you guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with me this morning. That was fun. And we'll see you next week live in the Zoom room. Thank you.
Stacy, your new class is up now?
Yes, next week is up and ready to rock.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Okay, have a good day.